1, 2, 3.
Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. We are back for a Juve news live. You know, we did it already last week. I repeat it this time. From a certain moment when we begin with the news, I will put the chrono on. This time, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I have put a chrono of 25 minutes. 25 minutes to start with. So, ragazzi, let me check if we can put it on. Again, 25 minutes from the moment that we start with the news, and then it's over. Last time I did 30 minutes, this time 25 minutes. So for the people that are curious about the latest game of Juventus this season, Udinese, Juve, remain on the channel here for the latest and fresh news. But we'll speak about all the news about the papers, Massimiliano Allegri, Giuntoli, and also the names that could arrive to replace some other players, Dusan Vlahovic, for example, who can replace him. Also wingers like Angel Di Maria, because we know there are some last games today, Adrien Rabiot, Paredes, Di Maria, and so on and so on. We'll speak about the importance of the game of today, if you care or not. Is it really important or not? Some players that will go in the tour with the team in USA. We are speaking about Gnonto. No, this is for the names later. We are speaking about Huijsen, about Nongue, and about Yildiz. We have a lot of things to speak about today. The goodbyes to Di Maria. So 25 big minutes altogether. First of all, let me say hello to the people that are already pinned this morning, like Colin Wynn, like Styler Z, Bogdan, Galfilagios, Stavros is there as well, Risencross. We have Vincenzo, Buongiorno Beppe, and all the Juventini of the world. Ciao Leo from Australia. Colin is saying, let's get the likes up. The channel has been steadily growing. We have to keep it up. Ciao, buongiorno to Tariq, to Martin, to Mikel Arteta. G just cooking. No, I'm cooking nothing, guys. Ciao, Ahmad Sako. Ciao, Martin. Ciao, Swarnim. Ciao to all the people that are awake already this morning. I'm really happy to have nearly 100 people that are waiting for the news to start. So I have already prepared. This is the first page. Mi assolvo e resto. I absolving me of the problems of 22-23, Max Allegri, and I remain at Juve. This is the first page. So now that I said hello to everyone, I'm ready, I believe, to put the chrono on for 25 minutes together. Are we ready? Yes or no? Let me know if you're ready for the news to start, for the chrono to start. Buongiorno to Aussie, grande, ciao prof. Buongiorno a tutti. Are you ready for the news or not? I have launched a poll this morning because it's the last game of the season. Are you happy because you can't anymore? Mixed feeling, but it's the best. Or sad because you will miss Juventus? 46% at the moment said, finally, I can't anymore this season. Mixed feeling, but it's better for 33%. And 22% of the people with sad, I will miss Juventus. We stop that poll. Bings. That's over. Let me check the people. I'm not ready for Allegri. But you're ready for Allegri. Martin, you are obliged to, because it's the end of the season and Allegri is still the coach. Beppe, meet me in Barcelona in 7 weeks. But Aussie, you always want to meet me, but I don't just travel to meet people. Going to Barcelona, it will cost me again €1,000 for nothing, actually, because there is no game of Juventus. So no, obviously I will not go to Barcelona, but it's nice. If one day we have the opportunity to meet people outside of the Juventus stadium before a game, that would be really, really nice. Otherwise, I don't travel just, for going to Barcelona. I know Barcelona. I already visited Barcelona a lot of time. Beppe, buongiorno to Chief Cristo. We are ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for the news, guys. Ragazzi, we start now with the chrono. 25 minutes that starts today. Or today. Now, can we see if the chrono started? Yes, we go. With 24 minutes and 55 seconds to go. So the first page of Tutto Sport is Mi assolvo e resto. Max Allegri Max, io e il mio staff non abbiamo nulla da rimproverarci. What does that mean? Max Allegri yesterday spoke in press conference. He spoke about a lot of things. I made a video about it yesterday where I was really angry because he said a lot of things, and on social media I saw that some of his words were not understood really well or were manipulated to make people hate him even more. Massimiliano Allegri is not in a beautiful position at Juventus. We know it. People are saying it's enough. They can't anymore. They don't want to see Max Allegri next season. And we can talk about what he did well, what he did bad. Does he deserve to be there next season? Is there a chance that he's staying next season? And I agree on everything. But I don't like when we are changing the words of Max Allegri. Maybe some people that watched the video yesterday, they didn't really understood my message, or from what I understand, people don't care about the message. From the moment that you are mentioning Max Allegri, people are going totally crazy and really angry. So this is something I don't like, but there are also a lot of things that I didn't appreciate from the words of Max Allegri yesterday. What are these words? If we are going to hear there is a problem. There is a problem. Wait, let me change something. Here I am. I'm back. Better like that. So Allegri resta sotto processo. Allegri is remaining, but under process, under trial. Today will be an important game for Max Allegri in Udinese. First of all, because the game of today will tell us a few things. If we are looking at the ranking of Serie A, so we change here, what do we see? On the ranking of Serie A that Napoli already won. Today they will do a big party. Lazio is second, Inter is third. All these positions are already defined, with Inter third on the field. So Juventus can potentially, winning today, have, if we are calculating the points, 72 points, being equal with Inter in terms of points, being in Champions League on the field. But we all know that Juventus will not battle the 10 points anymore, so that means that we have 59. If we win today, we have 62. What can it change? Well, a lot for Max Allegri, for his future, because there is that myth, that legend that is speaking about a contract of Max Allegri, that possibly, if we go into Champions League on the field, he has an automatical renewal for the next 2 years. If not, Juventus could stop his contract. This is a myth, this is a legend that could potentially be true, but we are not sure about it at the moment. There is nobody that is able to confirm if there is that clause. Some journalists are saying yes, I believe. Some journalists are saying no. So today, if you lose, you are not in that top 4 on the field. On the field, ragazzi, because we are already out of the top 4. On the field with all the points that we won. So that makes that when Max Allegri next week, maybe already tomorrow, will meet the ownership or maybe the sporting management at the moment, Francesco Calvo and so on, from the moment that he will meet him, he's not even strong enough to say, I brought the team with all the problems of the world, with a -10 and so on, -15 at a certain moment. I brought the team still in Champions League position on the field. That would make him really strong. On the other side, if we win today, we are possibly over Milan in that top 4. Milan that will be in Champions League because of the -10 of Juve. So that's an important one this today. I know that there are some supporters that are believing that losing today against Udinese with Milan winning is the best one for Juve. And there are other supporters that are saying, no Beppe, because that's impossible. I can't support against my team, whatever it will happen. So I would love that today we win, because there is something at stake today. If Roma or Atalanta are not winning and Juventus is winning, Juventus will not play that Conference League next year, will play the Europa League, which is much more important than playing that Conference League. Still awaiting for the final decision of Seferin and UEFA, if yes or no we can be into the European competition for next year, waiting for a decision on a ban. So today is still an important game, that we like it or not. If we lose, we can be out of the top 4 officially. If we win, we can possibly be in Europa League. What is the best decision, my friends? Look, I will tell you my opinion, and then we continue with all the other news. My opinion is that Juventus need to go on the field today to win. I don't care about losing, hoping that there is a clause to dismiss Massimiliano Allegri. I have never been like that, and I will never be like that. We have to win, waiting for the result of Roma and Atalanta, and I believe that if the management, if the ownership go with the decision of stopping with Max Allegri, they can still do it, whatever the result is. I don't care about close, not close, blah, 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 blah. I want a strong decision of Juventus. If we are listening to 90% of the fans about the trend at the moment, but also the feeling of Hertz fans, the best decision would be to stop with Max Allegri, to decide about a brighter future without him, starting a new project. Of course, there are some risks. If you start with a new coach without big investment of the market, you can totally flop. You can be out of the big spots because you are not ready yet, because you couldn't build a team for that new coach. So you have a lot of negative doubts about a new coach, especially because we are not speaking about Guardiola, Klopp, Nagelsmann. Forget about these coaches, Zinedine Zidane. You are speaking about coaches that are uprising. So I believe that you need to win today, or at least you have to try to win today. And after that, you take a strong decision. If it is to rebuild, to change, to give a lot of new enthusiasm, if you don't believe anymore in the coach, you have to dismiss him. That's the reality. And you invest in another coach with less money. Then, if it is that you take the decision to continue with Max Allegri, you continue. But you need to take a strong decision, whatever it is. Happy tifosi or sad tifosi, as a business, as a football club, you need to take a decision really, really fast. So what are the against and pro things of Max Allegri? They are quite easy. You have the accusation in the sport papers that are saying that indeed the last 2 years there were 0 trophies. Is this something that we can debate about? No, because it's a fact. Zero trophies in 2 years. 25% of the head-to-head versus big teams that were won. 25% are numbers that are absolutely not good enough for Juventus. We had a really disaster Champions League knockout, no, not knockout, we didn't even achieve them. So the group stage of knockout stages were a real disaster, where you lost 5 out of them, even against Maccabi Haifa. The value of the team were decreasing, because we know it, a lot of players decreased in their value, like for example Dusan Vlahovic. A game that is not enough organized and structured, that means a pattern, a way of playing that is still after 2 years not identified. Intensity of athleticism, of physical intensity, is absolutely not there. Contrast between the coach and a lot of players. We saw it reported by Gazzetta dello Sport. Contrast with Paredes, contrast with that player not being happy with the other player. So, also if you're speaking about the locker room, well, not a lot of players anymore are, if you're looking at the rumors, with Allegri. The communication that has been not great at all the last few times or this season. Certain moments on certain papers leaked interviews where he spoke about controversial things. Yesterday, some things that he said that were absolutely not okay. Like, for example, I have nothing to say to the supporters. I want to come back on that. And then the impopularity, so not being popular with the supporters, because let's say it how it is. Yesterday I made a video, I explained a concept that I was against, lying, just to hate a coach anymore. A lot of people in the comments, because I'm watching the things, they were all telling me, we don't care about what he's saying, we want him out, whatever. So today we are in a situation where the fans, or not all of them, but the majority, a lot of the fans today, they express their disagreement, they express their anger, and they prefer ignoring the disgusting things that we are saying about a person, as long as we dismiss a coach. This is something that I particularly not like, but I will come back on some things. But first, let me read a bit of your comments before continuing. So I will here press pause at the moment. We were at 15 minutes that were remaining. I will press pause. Modern day journalist is really trash, in my opinion. Ciao Nirai, and thank you for becoming a member of the channel again. Grande Nirai, really appreciate it. It has always been like that. We know it, as speaking bad is more important than speaking well, because it's more in the eye of the people. Ciao a tutti Juventus supporter all around the world. Beautiful jersey, people are telling me. Ciao multiple defense from Sydney. Prof VR, my fear, we lost Ronaldo because Allegri came back. And now we may lose Vlahovic for the same thing. I will speak about Dusan Vlahovic in a second, ragazzi. Keep it up. Don't know if I missed watch along here or on Twitch. I didn't say it, but I already prepared it here. This evening, watch along against Udinese on this channel. Thank you for the question. Okay, ragazzi, we continue in a second with the news, but first of all, I want to speak about Dusan Vlahovic because I want to put something out of my heart, out of my chest. Ragazzi, Dusan Vlahovic, we know it, interest about Bayern, about Chelsea, about a lot of teams, and I always told you, I went to the guidelines, I believe that Dusan Vlahovic will leave Juventus. Now, there is one thing that I didn't really appreciate, is when Paul Pogba was showing that he was in a resort at the ski with his family while he was on day off. That's important to repeat. While he was on day off, there was a big controversy. Pogba out, Pogba disgusting, is more for the show than a football player. You have some responsibilities. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And I can kind of understand that people are frustrated. I always defended Paul Pogba because we never had footage of him skiing. We never had footage of him doing anything. It was in his free time and I could understand it. But yesterday we saw, or 2 days ago, we saw Dusan Vlahovic being at the birthday party of the son of Andrea Pirlo, Nick Pirlo. It was the birthday of Nick Pirlo. He was there. You know that Dusan Vlahovic is not called up for today. He was not called up for last game. Apparently a small injury at the ankle that is not giving him the right to play or not allowing him to play because he's not 100% in physical condition. Well, Dusan Vlahovic was at the birthday of Nick Pirlo. Birthday party, it's a friend of him. They are more or less the same age, 20 years for Nick Pirlo, 23 I believe now for Dusan Vlahovic. And why not? We saw a picture of him sitting. But then we also saw this morning and yesterday some picture of Dusan Vlahovic in the disco, in a club, dancing. And I believe that we have to be consistent. If we hate on Paul Pogba because he's injured and he's at a ski resort with his family, well, Dusan Vlahovic, in terms of professionalism, at the end of a season, ragazzi, I don't know how I have to interpret it. Again, for me, people, they are able to do whatever they want in their free time if they are able to respect the professionalism. That means when they have to show up on the field or in training center or at the physio or at J Medical, they are able to do whatever they want if they are able to recuperate fast, if they are focused on doing what they have to do. For me, they are human being, but it just, for me, what I don't like, it's we like a player, we defend a player, so it's all because of Allegri that Dusan Vlahovic is not playing, and it's okay if he goes in disco because the season is over. And then we have another player that we don't like because we were expecting a lot from him because he was injured, because he didn't take the right decision. And we are again Paul Pogba because he couldn't go into the because he was not there on the field. There are two different versions that I don't like, and that's something that I don't appreciate, and it's the same for Max Allegri. We are blinded about the hate of Max Allegri that we are not able to see what's right, what's wrong. Then, if we continue, grazie, Ausi. I think Vlahovic, Di Maria will stay. No, Di Maria will not stay. I will show you in a second. Khalid, I'm sorry for that. Disco Boom Boom. Why we don't have to think about Zidane? Forget about Zidane. I think Max is gone from some. So what are the things that are showing actually that people are still defending Allegri? So we have a few. We start again with the chrono. Andiamo 15 seconds from now on. The things that are showing actually that people still want to defend Allegri is that he defended Juventus in a really difficult moment that was out of his responsibility, and that is something that I believe he really needs a lot or deserve a lot of respect. Disponibilità con proprietà e dirigenza has always been available with the ownership and with the managers. He launched some players, some youth players that we can always discuss. Is it because the starters were injured or not? But anyway, it's a fact that he launched a lot of players. Then he has the excuse of the injuries from important players and so on and so on. He qualified to the Champions League on the field. Well, this is not even sure because we have to check what will happen this evening. If we are putting all these kind of things in a balance, ragazzi, if I'm really honest, if I'm looking what are the pro Allegri defense and the against Allegri, it makes totally sense that today the best decision would be to split parts with Max Allegri. I'm really honest with you, ragazzi. So no blah 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 blah. I'm really honest, guys. If you're looking. But again, decision has been taken or not? No, the decision has not been taken. What I didn't appreciate from Max Allegri, and I believe was really stupid yesterday in his press conference, was that at a certain moment he said, what I have to say to the angry tifosi, to the angry supporters, he said, texto, he said, I have to say nothing to the supporters. Ragazzi, when you start with I have to say nothing to the supporters, I don't like it. I don't like it. I am against supporters that are deciding or believing that they can decide anything. But at the end, we are the core. We are important. We are people that are spending their money, their time, their passion. Ragazzi, this is something that I really didn't appreciate from Max Allegri yesterday. So for people that continue to write, Beppe, you defend Allegri no matter what, you're paid by the company to defend people. Ragazzi, if you want, no, this is something that I don't appreciate. You can say the supporters are not influencing my decision. The tifosi, they are important, but they can't get into my head. You can say whatever you want, but at a certain moment you have to put as a coach the supporters central. And you have to say, look, I understand that supporters are angry. They are not used to a Juventus not able to win. I promise that if I stay, I'll give 100% my max, even better. I understood that I made mistakes and I will work on it. But of course, you have to show a hand. You have to give a hand towards the supporters. This is what I personally didn't enjoy. This evening, ragazzi, the last one of the season. Apparently, Szczesny can be in the goal with Bonucci central because Bremer is not there. Gatti and Danilo. Gazzetta dello Sport is giving the same defense. Quadrado, Miretti, Locatelli, Rabiot, and Kostic with Di Maria and Milik up front for Tuttosport. There is another version of Gazzetta dello Sport that is speaking about Chiesa being also there in the lineup. In that kind of 3-5-1-1, depending if that can be the lineup of today. A lot of people said, I don't understand it because it's a game that is over, that is not important. Why are you still playing with the big players or in terms of name and not launching players that from the youth that deserve to play after a really difficult season? Ragazzi, why playing Rabiot? Why playing Di Maria? Players that will be out of Juventus next season. I don't know what you think about, but that could be the potential lineup. Speaking about Rabiot, Di Maria, Paredes, these three players are sure to leave. Rabiot, Paredes, Di Maria. And today we will say goodbye to these players. Rabiot, we knew it, without European competition. It's not a secret, he already said it. He will leave and he will probably earn more money going to the Premier League. Di Maria will leave. And how can we know for sure that he will leave? If you want to know, you have to go here on that image, the one of Fagioli yesterday on Instagram. No, that's not the picture I was looking for. It's actually this one. Fagioli writing a message to Angel Di Maria on the shirt, and he posted it on Instagram. Fideo, you were an example on and off the field. I like you, or I appreciate you, or I love you, however you want to call it. Ti voglio bene. I really appreciate you. So this is a clear message of goodbye from Fagioli to Di Maria. I always said I would love to have Di Maria at Juventus for his experience, for his appeal, for his strength, for the player that he is. And also for another reason, because he can be an example for youth players, especially Mattia Soulé. The first time I said it was on the 23rd of April 2022. Well, more than an example for Mattia Soulé, I believe he has been really important for Niccolò Fagioli. Di Maria spoke really well about Niccolò Fagioli, but this is an evidence that Di Maria will leave. I will make a video about a recap of the season of Angel Di Maria with Juventus, but honestly, if I really have to take already today giving you a spoiler, it has not been enough, not sufficiently good. a bit because of the team, a bit because of him, a bit because of a lot of things. I will always regret the fact that we had a Di Maria that was not able to express himself at the fullest, because I am a big fan of Angel Di Maria, but I believe that it's better without him. Personally, I believe it's ready. It's time to change. What about Rabiot? I'm, of course, in a way sad. I will not cry about Rabiot. It's just sad that we saw the best of Rabiot towards the last part of his season. It is what it is. What is worrying me is what kind of player you will sign to enter to replace Rabiot. And then you have Paredes, which I never fell in love with. I was against Paredes at Juventus in the beginning. Then he came, I supported him, or I tried, but we never saw Paredes. So no regret. No, yeah, actually regret. A big regret is that we didn't try to give trust to Rovella, because he would have had 1 year of Juve more in his feet. It is what it is. Then we have Cuadrado. Maybe the last part of the season. You know that he has not been reconfirmed. Speaking about Cuadrado, I believe that we will wait. If we are playing European competition, as Romeo Agresti said this morning, it could be that we extend Cuadrado 1 more year as a rotational player, because you have much more games and you need some backups. If we have only one competition only, Coppa Italia and Serie A, I believe we will split roads with Cuadrado, and that's why at the moment we are waiting. Okay. Fagioli, just to finish with Fagioli. Fagioli has won the under-23 MVP of Serie A, which I'm really, really happy for. Of course, deserved, even if we can speak about Kvaratskhelia, that probably deserved a bit better because he's also 22. But in Italy, he won the MVP of the season, so he can't be in 2 different categories. So congratulations to Kvara, I believe correctly, man of the season for Napoli in Serie A. And our guy, best under 23. The thing that makes me always laugh is that yesterday Corriere dello Sport was speaking about Mourinho, was speaking about this and this, but if we zoom in, we see that they are speaking about the dominio that Kvara won the Serie A, the king in Serie A, Kvaratskhelia, but also other players were rewarded, like Provedel, best goalkeeper, best defender for Kim Min-jae, best midfielder for Barella, and best striker for Osimhen. Fantastic. I thought, if I go back here, I thought that we had Nicolo Fagioli that also won something. They forgot. They totally forgot about Nicolo Fagioli. It is what it is. Ragazzi, I will press stop at the moment. 7 minutes to go on the chrono, just to read a few of your comments. Rise and cross. We need Cuadrado for Inter and maybe also for Fiorentina. What about Alexandro? At the moment, nothing has been officialized, but we know it that there is a possible contract extension if he reached some games. Ragazzi, there was a big hype, a big trend of journalists speaking about him that it was already automatically, I don't know. Speaking about that, look, yesterday Real Madrid and today Real Madrid, they went boom boom with some announcement. Mariano out, Asensio out, Eden Hazard out, and this morning Benzema out. There are 2 versions. The one of Eden Hazard, for example, that still had 1 year of contract, but they found a mutual agreement. He didn't want to stay. They didn't want him to stay. He was earning so much money and he was never playing. Nobody wanted him to stay. They took, according to me, the right decision. Did Juventus do that in the past? Yes, they did for some players. That there was no option anymore and they free up for free because they will lose Eden Hazard for free. I believe it's the right decision, but it's the context that matter with Real Madrid, that at the same time is not renewing Asensio because he was out of contract, not renewing Benzema, and we are speaking about the actual Ballon d'Or. They go over it. They change plans. They renew. And I believe that is the right decision and is showing the strength of a club. I saw a lot of people saying this is a serious club and then Juventus is not a serious club. I believe that partially it's correct because today Real Madrid is in the position of being able to do that. They already worked since some years in the renewal of the generation. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Vinicius Junior, they are already both for in a few years, Endrick and so on, so they are really working on the future. They had that transition that was actually not painful because they were from a winning transition, stopping with, for example, Casemiro and so on, continuing. So Real Madrid is today in a position of strength that is incredible. Super League project or not, even Seferin can't do anything against Real Madrid. Juventus, ragazzi, you have to understand that we are in a really weak position today and we can't take the same decision. Would be nice, but we were already in financial problems before all the mess. On top of that, we are even more in a financial mess, and we can't just say we stop with this, we stop with that, we stop with that, which probably would be the right thing to do, because I really believe that at a certain moment you have to split roads with De Sciglio, with Quadrado, with Alexandro. I believe that that's the best decision that you should do. And if you want to show that you are a strong club at the moment, there is no way that you just avoid it. But I believe, honestly, that Juventus will be back to be a big club in terms of stability in a near future, especially in Italy. For Europe, I have question marks. How long it will take and if it will be possible, but that's not related to Juve, it's more related to the global project and growth of Premier League towards the other leagues. But I really believe that at the moment we are in a difficult position, in a weak position. A club that will be probably banned out of European competition can't just do whatever they want to do. Anyway, if we had a couple more Champions League trophies, it would look nice. Yeah, for every club, of course. Can we buy proper left back and right back and start to play with 4 players in the back? That would be a big decision. That's where we are going towards now. That's where we are going toward, because we have some Mercato talk. So I talk about some players that will leave. I spoke about Quadrado. I spoke about a lot of things, but now we speak about Mercato. Mercato. First, the message of Rise and Cross. Rise and Cross, thank you for a donation, my friend. Grazie, really appreciate it. He's saying, Beppe, do you think that one day there will be a financial takeover at Juve, like a rich owner? Okay. It's a strange question, actually, because we have rich owners. We have really rich owners. We are the owner, well, we are. Elkan family and Agnelli family are owners of Exor. It's one of the most rich businesses of the world. We already have rich owners. But it's a way of managing it that, if you're looking in the history of Juve, has always put in favor the, how can I say, the auto management without support from the ownership. You sell, you buy, you invest, you expand, you work with sponsorship, we do whatever you want, but all locally with the business Juventus. No help from the ownership. In the last few years, we had support from the ownership, 700 million capital gain, which is huge. Unfortunately mismanaged, and we spend that money because of COVID, but not only, COVID is just a part of it, but we spent all that money. So I believe that we already have rich owners. Then if you are telling me, will there be small entries at the club of big owners, or shared stakes, both, or entries, if we will stop, it could be that at a certain moment, like we are hearing the voices, Amazon or Apple or whatever will try to enter Juventus. Could be, but rich, we are already rich. It's just the way of managing it that is totally different. Real Madrid is a club owned also by the city of Madrid, by the banks, and makes it totally different in their way of managing. Juventus has another strategy. It's not a state club where, and also because you have some rules to respect. You can't just go every year pumping up €1 billion in your club. Anyway, thank you for a donation, my friends. We go with the other news. Ragazzi, let me check what is on the planning. We spoke about this one. We spoke about Giuntoli, I already told you, but there is something apparently, just to give you an insight that you will not be happy with, but I kind of agree with him. But at the moment, Giuntoli is observing from a distance what is happening with Juventus without interfering, with serenity, watching. He's waiting today, the party, and then discussing with Aurelio De Laurentiis. But one thing that apparently he had said, according to some sources, to close friends of him, are the fact that he said, well, in the past, I had already contact 2 times with Allegri, could have been close to work with Allegri 2 times. I can't understand, and I don't believe that Allegri became poor in just 1 year. It is impossible that a coach of that pedigree, experience, winning coach that understands of football, because he understands of football, became poor in 1 year. Does that mean anything? No, just he's observing and he's asking him, I believe, also the right questions. Does that mean that we continue with Allegri? No, at the moment he's waiting. That was it, what I wanted to say about Giuntoli. Then I had probably another image here. Let me check. This one. Gazzetta dello Sport is paying the first names of Giuntoli, and that's where we are going here. The first names of Giuntoli. Ragazzi, Mercato. And I have to admit that the names that I'm reading here, I'm not sure if I like them, I don't like them, but one thing is sure is they are really interesting. What are they saying if we give a close-up to everything that they are saying? They are saying Juventus is moving themselves in attack. They like Wahi from Montpellier and Holyund. Chiesa is a doubt, still a question mark, pending. There is the idea of Gnonto, but it's not over because Juventus is moving up front. Wahi from Montpellier, 20 years old, French under 21 striker. Playing at Montpellier, scored a lot of goals. Juventus is interested. I never heard about Juventus being interested in Wahi. Guy, Wahi is really a Giuntoli name. That player that is doing well, that is not yet known, that really can do a difference. Can be. Holyund is a good name. It's a really good name. I believe, unfortunately, too late. Because, not too late, and Juventus was on the player already. But the problem is that Atalanta, they understood and they want to sell him for a lot of million. Chiesa future is pending. Idea Gnonto. But first of all, the priority is understanding if we extend Milik or not. That's an important one. If you go with Tudor, well, I don't believe that you can go for Milik, because we know that also because of Tudor, Milik left Olympique de Marseille. If you continue with Allegri, maybe you can. It depends, but that's a priority. Taking the decision with Milik. We have still a few days to decide if yes or no we extend him. Then, the Bianconeri are working maybe for Scamacca. Scamacca that can leave on a loan from West Ham. Why? It's a cheap. That's why Scamacca can be. He was already on the list of Juve in the past. Before him going to West Ham, I was happy when he signed for West Ham. Total disaster there, didn't play really well. On top of that big injury. I personally am against Scamacca. Ragazzi, if he will come and he can prove me wrong, I'm happy. But I am against Scamacca. Then, I like the names of Wahi. Wahi are interesting names. Post Vlahovic, I told you. Vlahovic, according to me, there are no chances for him to stay. There is someone that we need to sacrifice. We are interested in Gnonto. If the relegation of Leeds brought us to, unfortunately, a McKennie back, the good news is that they are relegated. And why is it a good news? Because there is a player like Gnonto that could be easier to take from Leeds to Juventus. Some people earlier said, yeah, but it's an Interista. Guys, I don't care. I really don't care about his love for Inter or whatever. Conte went to Inter and he won. So professionalism is key. But there are also another player that is interesting from Southampton, that also Southampton went in second division in England. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Who knows Kamaldeen Sulemana? Interesting player for Juve. Also him could be a cheaper solution. Then, when speaking with Sassuolo about Fratesi that is on the list of a lot of teams, not Brighton, but Milan, Inter, Juve, Roma, and so on and so on. Well, dialogues were open for Armand Lorienté. Lorienté that did a really beautiful season with Juve. If I read about all these names, ragazzi, and there will be more, I'm happy in a way. I'm happy because I'm, first of all, a realist. Realistic at the moment. I'm not expecting big, huge names. But for once, there is an idea. Fresh air. New names. I'm tired of Morata 3.0. Can we take Dybala back? Can we take... tell me, how many times? like we spoke about it, Paredes, how many years, and then he came to Juve, Darmian. I'm pissed off with always the same names. Oh, give me a few examples of names. Every time we are speaking about the same, coming back. I'm tired of all these names. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, Serraz, apparently has been asked about from Max Allegri. But yeah, every 6 months we hear about Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. No Greenwood talks. No, the Greenwood talks has been over since a few moments. Pulisic, every time Pulisic again. Even if I believe unrealistic. But anyway, I would be really sad if Gundogan, Berardi, thank you, Luca. Berardi is a name every time. Look, I will be really sad if Gundogan goes for free to Milan, ragazzi, because that's one of the consequences. That's one of the consequences that you pay for when you don't go to Champions League. So because of the off-the-field topics, you can't even approach a player like Gundogan. Fratesi, yeah, but there are so many names that we are always linked to. This time I like new names. Give me new names. I want to be surprised by Wahi. I want to know about Wahi. I'm curious. This morning, I promised you, I heard Wahi. I said, I don't know Wahi. Yeah, I heard, of course. I saw a few goals, but I don't really know him. I want to know Wahi. Nyonto, I'm not a big fan at the moment, but I'm curious about what he can do. Sulemana, I'm curious about the player from Loriente. I like. Why not? These players I really like. Pau Torres. For bigger names, we have to wait. Sporting director and so on. But for once, at least, I hear new names. And I'm really hoping. I know Openda, but Openda, guys, he will not join Juve. Ragazzi, he will not join Juve. Openda. Good player, fantastic player, Belgian player. I really like him, but no, forget about it. Guys, we have to be really realistic. And that's why this morning I was really happy in reading new names, finally. New names that can be interesting, that can bring a fresh air. Yesterday I saw under 20 Italian team winning and going to the semifinal. They won 3-1 against Colombia. Interesting player, Baldanzi from Empoli, really important one. Also Casadei, that is from Chelsea now, ex-Inter, great players. Esposito, that scored that fantastic third goal. So I'm happy about that. Ragazzi, we'll have some interesting talks. For the 220 people that are here together with me today, first of all, let's try to reach 100 likes. But please put in your mind that you will probably judge the Mercato of Juve with a 5.5, 6 on 10. Because you will not be happy about the names that will come. But at a certain moment, when you are with your shoulders against the wall, and you have limited business, limited cash to do Mercato, limited attraction, probably is there where your ideas start to work. This is where your ideas will start to work. And that's what we did in 2011. That's what we did even in 2010-12. That's where you're obliged. And that's why a name like Giuntoli can bring that. But also Manna, that did beautiful work. And then you have maybe the surprise. The surprise of Huijsen, that will go in the USA Tour. Yildiz, that will go to the USA Tour. Probably Nonje. But Nonje depending a lot on how many players we are be sure that will leave the midfield. Because McKennie will come back. Arthur will come back. Zakaria will come back. So on top of all the one that we have, Rovella will come back. We depend on what with Miretti and so on and so on. But Joseph Nongue could be a player. Look, left back Barco from Boca Juniors is a name that is on the list. I like, because I was watching Argentina under 20 that were eliminated by Nigeria. Congratulations to them. Because they have a beautiful team, really beautiful team, the under 20 of Nigeria. But these are names that I like. Barco. I want to know. I'm curious. Good idea. Cheap. And we are obliged. I know that these are not the names that you like when they are at Juve. I know it. But better than that, always the comebacks. The same names. Linked and linked again with Juve. Again. Morata, Scamacca, this player, this. Basta. Ok. Ragazzi, I said 25 minutes. We are already at 45. I just can't stop speaking, but it's over. I close here. I think we said everything we said. This evening we will go towards the last game of the season. Pre-game watch along on this channel. I hope that you are a lot that will watch that game together with me, because maybe it's Europa League, maybe it's Conference League, maybe we will win, and I hope we can win last game. Important for the people that love Juventus, a really important one. Juventus women will play the Coppa Italia final at 4:30 p.m. Italian time. They are the only team of Juve, and that's the first time since the birth of Juventus women, under 23 and so on, the only team that can bring a trophy to Juventus as a club, because under 19 with Montero were eliminated from the playoff. They can't win anymore. Next gen out of playoff. They lost the final of Coppa Italia. Juventus first team lost everything that they could lose. So the only team could be Juventus women. So I hope that they win. I will support them, 4:30 p.m. Italian time. So forza ragazze, and we are here this evening. I see you later. Sir Raz Nirai, that is saying maximum of likes. We didn't even reach 100 likes. We are missing 5. And I'm waiting because I would love to do it. Let's see if we recuperated a bit of subscribers to the channel. That's something I'm really curious about. Did we grew with the subscribers on the channel? Let me check. I will show you so that you can see how many we have at the moment. Can we do it? 25,679. Not bad. Who knows if this evening during the watch along with a crazy 4-0 for Juventus we can go to 25,700. You never know. Ciao a tutti, ciao Ravinda, ciao Luca, ciao Punsara, ciao Tarek, ciao Aldo, Mandalorian, Aussie, Colin Win, Beppe, have a great day. Looking forward for the stream today. Ciao Juventini, let's close out on a positive note. Yeah, because difficult. Ciao Juventino a Paris, ciao Khalid, ciao Aldo Bonassa, ciao a tutti, ciao Jim, ciao Julian, ciao, grazie, forza.